In this video, discover what may be the superior alternative to Bitcoin. A large portion of us has found out about Bitcoin at this point. It's only one of the numerous digital currencies that have been standing out as truly newsworthy as of late. Digital forms of money are regularly promoted as the following enormous thing in the account. However, a couple of individuals truly see how they work. Truth be told, instead of the monetary standards themselves, the innovation powers them is known as blockchain innovation that have genuinely progressive potential. A few people accept that blockchains offer such countless advantages that they'll ultimately deliver banks outdated. Others think they likewise address the fate of agreements and secure information stockpiling. What's more, there are still other people who consider all to be innovation as only a prevailing fashion that will in the end collapse. In the wake of perusing these chapters, you'll have a smart thought of what blockchain master Henning Diedrich thinks and why it very well may still be too soon to tell where Ethereum will take us. In these chapters, you'll discover why money was only a couple a long time comparatively radical, which nation utilizes as much power in a year as one Bitcoin blockchain, why Ethereum may outperform Bitcoin as the blockchain of choice. The digital currency was developed by cypherpunks in response to online protection issues. During the 1980s, the world entered the PC age, with PCs turning out to be important for some homes and work environments to certain individuals. Nonetheless, this advancement was definitely not gladly received. To them, it appeared to portend the ascent of a total reconnaissance state, similar to something out of George Orwell's 1984. So a small bunch of software engineers chose to retaliate. And their weapon was code. Consequently, in the last part of the 80s, the cypherpunk development started. Their principal point was the security of individuals' protection in the computerized world. One of the originators, the American software engineer Eric Hughes, inventoried their objectives and expectations in the 1993 book A Cypherpunk's Manifesto. The cypherpunks wished to see safe, encoded correspondence in the computerized world. This would permit individuals to make mysterious exchanges, not at all like Visa exchanges, where the payer and sender can be distinguished. Cypherpunks wanted advanced cash where individuals could send and get cash without being followed, similar to paying with money at the neighborhood corner store. They ventured out a private correspondence framework in 1997 by dispatching the cypherpunks' distributed remailer, which was essentially an unknown, decentralized email framework. Not long a while later came the primary rendition of a digital currency called Bcash, whose innovation is acknowledged to a person for the online handle Weidai. Strikingly, Bcash worked also on how Bitcoin functions today. All clients of the money held a duplicate of the exchange log, so every installment was presented for all to see and conceivably affirm or debate. The enormous contrast between Bcash and Bitcoin is this: in Bcash's day, there was no decentralized method to keep up the records. By and by, different endeavors at digital currencies followed. However, each kicked the bucket when the website bubble burst when the new century rolled over. Almost a time of silence followed. And afterward, in 2008, Bitcoin arose, turning into the world's originally decentralized advanced cash. Bitcoin's creator is known as Satoshi Nakamoto, however his genuine name stays a secret. In any case, Nakamoto made his goals understood. He needed to make the idea of a customary bank, that is, of a single monetary foundation, old. This is the reason Bitcoin doesn't work on any single library and why all exchanges are made straightforwardly between the clients. Since you know how digital currencies were conceived, we should take a gander at how they work. A blockchain is an incredible, secure, and decentralized data set that can follow and oversee exchanges. In the event that you've found out about Bitcoin, you may have seen blockchain and pondered, what the hell is that? The least complex approach to comprehend a blockchain is to consider it a safe and shared data set that contains exchanges. Blockchains can be utilized for some reasons, yet Bitcoin has gotten the most notable. With the end goal of this computerized money, the blockchain is utilized to hold conditional data about the number of bitcoins that are being moved between two records. So the information would peruse something like: record at exchanges 10 bitcoins to account B. The information base is known as a blockchain on the grounds that the information is put away in areas known as squares. And these squares are coordinated in an exact manner that essentially makes a chain of information. The primary square of information is known as the beginning square, and each square that follows contains data about the former square, in this way connecting them together like a chain. Be that as it may, a more proper relationship may be a progression of Russian settling dolls, with each square containing the data from past squares inside it. The genuine characterizing highlight of a blockchain information base is that it's decentralized. This is a significant component for various reasons, the most significant being that it forestalls duplicity. As a rule, Most computerized things can be effortlessly copied. Simply consider that it is so natural to email somebody a JPEG or an MP3, yet advanced money, to have genuine worth, should be insured against duplication. Blockchain innovation defeats this test by decentralizing the dataset. So in the event that you have 5 bitcoins, this information isn't being put away on one single PC, it's continually being synchronized over an entire organization of PCs. In the event that you attempted to go in and rapidly change your Bitcoin sum from 5 to 15, this switch would appear on everybody's duplicate of the blockchain, and anybody can differ and keep it from getting official. The other degree of security given by blockchain is its utilization of cryptography, which is the reason the expression digital money is utilized to depict Bitcoin and other blockchain-based computerized monetary forms. Cryptography takes into account secure correspondence and secure stockpiling of data and gives added levels of validation inside the blockchain. Each exchange requires an advanced mark that utilizes cryptography to confirm exchanges and guarantee that previous exchanges aren't altered. Blockchains work through a cycle of agreement, which takes a great deal of energy and time. To improve comprehension of how digital currencies work without the guidance of a single financial position, we need to take a gander at the bit-by-bit cycle of exchange. Blockchains work through an agreement convention known as confirmation of work. This convention guarantees that the blockchain in every case precisely addresses each exchange made. This works by having all the individual PCs in the organization, called hubs, concur on one valid adaptation of the blockchain. The hubs that effectively partake in the agreement-building measure are called excavators or validators. Clearly, it tends to be a test for all the hubs to concur on everything, from the request wherein the exchanges ought to be handled to what the following square ought to resemble. Also, it's normal for hubs to fight with various, and now and then clashing, propositions on what the following square ought to be. In any case, besides the various recommendations, there is consistently a longest chain or heaviest chain. This is the one chain that is at last endorsed and considered valid by the agreement convention. It's alluded to as the world state. The entirety of this work and working of the blockchain takes a great deal of energy. Indeed, keeping up the Bitcoin blockchain for 1 year devours as much energy as the whole nation of Ireland utilizes in that equivalent time span. Along these lines, to help them cover their power expenses, diggers and validators are permitted to give themselves 12 bitcoins for each square they add. As you would envision, the decentralized idea of blockchain makes the interaction somewhat moderate contrasted with traditional datasets. In a regular information base like MySQL or VaultB, another passage takes a couple of milliseconds. Nonetheless, for the Ethereum blockchain, which addresses the present most progressive blockchain, another section takes a normal of 3 minutes. Regardless, that implies blockchains are multiple times quicker than exchanges made on the securities exchange, which take around 3 days to settle. What's more, contrasted with Visa installments, which take around 4 months, a blockchain exchange is around multiple times quicker, thanks to their ability to perform automated functions. Blockchains can likewise be applied to contracts. Blockchains aren't only an information base for computerized cash, however, they can likewise be utilized to make a coupling contract between at least 2 gatherings. In the realm of agreements, quite a few things can make at least one of the gatherings neglect to satisfy their legally binding commitments. Also, this can bring about perpetual and depleting times of cases. Blockchains may deter numerous authoritative issues. Nonetheless, since they can oversee keen agreements, a keen agreement not just stores the subtleties of an arrangement, it can execute the particulars of the understanding also. Savvy contracts are basically lawful content composed as a PC program and recorded into a blockchain. Furthermore, since blockchains fail to remember nothing, a savvy contract is sure to execute on schedule. So a blockchain savvy agreement can be utilized to trigger an installment at a specific time, regardless of whether the installment is made in digital money or with a customary MasterCard. Or then again, it could ensure that advanced products, for example, a music or video record, are moved to a gathering's email account. Using brilliant agreements, blockchains make it feasible for decentralized self-governing associations to work. Bitcoin and Ethereum are only 2 instances of this sort of association. A DAO is basically an organization that works out of PC code and oversaw by blockchain. It capacities through a progression of keen agreements that cooperate with one another to play out specific capacities. You could consider a DAO a vehicle that drives itself as well as consistently adjusts itself and deals with itself. Some savvy contracts work as the motor and keep it running, while others pay for gas or charge the battery. Furthermore, however, the vehicle addresses its own association. It could likewise be important for a Uber-like organization. In any case, while things can run easily in a DAO, there can come when an issue emerges and, with it, a question: who should be held responsible? blockchains have a few issues that are as yet being settled. One thing ought to be clear at this point. Blockchains are not a trend. It's now been demonstrated that blockchain can possibly change trade and money. In any case, there are a few issues that should be worked out. Quite possibly the main issue is that blockchains can lose information. This is definitely not a typical or likely issue, however. It is something that is as of now happened to the Bitcoin blockchain. This happens when at least two of the enormous gatherings in the PC organization, the ones liable for putting away the data, can't concur on the right condition of the blockchain. At the point when this happens, the organization forks, or parts, so you could get some information about your Bitcoin account. And if every hub is on an alternate side of the split organization, you could get to diverse record proclamations. Clearly, this would be a bad dream for each monetary establishment utilizing the blockchain. A split can likewise happen if the association between the hubs is cut. This would cause the arrangement of secluded gatherings inside the organization. However, a particular split would be settled when the association is restored. The organization will consistently acknowledge the gathering with the most noteworthy registering power as the valid condition of the blockchain. This is on the grounds that the longest chain requires the most force and is viewed as the most state-of-the-art. Shockingly, this would imply that all exchanges made on the more modest, dismissed chain would be lost. Another issue with blockchains is that it's difficult to be totally mysterious or secret. Each exchange requires a sender address and a beneficiary location. These locations are additionally called pen names, which are just a long series of letters and numbers, things like 17xHDB8. But the subtleties of each exchange can be seen by everybody. So if somebody giving close consideration, it's very workable for the examples and subtleties of your exchanges to uncover your actual character. This absence of secrecy, particularly in accordance with amazingly delicate information, for example, clinical data, may forestall blockchain getting generally famous. But on the other hand, there's an expectation that the issue could before long be settled. Ethereum offers an option in contrast to the Bitcoin blockchain and cash, except if you're truly acquainted with blockchain or advanced monetary forms. Odds are you haven't known about Ethereum. Be that as it may, we should view this new advancement in the blockchain. Bitcoin might be the first blockchain, but on the other hand, it's restricted. It's centered solely around cash. Though Ethereum is a universally useful blockchain, which makes it considerably more adaptable. Notwithstanding digital currencies, Ethereum empowers you to construct such things as land title vaults and the sort of rating frameworks utilized on eBay and Amazon. Ethereum was created in 2013 by Vitalik Buterin, who needed to stay away from the difficulty that exceptionally particular blockchains were encountering when being utilized for different employments. Thus, even at the hour of its origination, Ethereum was intended to do numerous things well. And this is the explanation it's the most progressive blockchain to date. Like other DAOs, Ethereum isn't possessed by anybody. It's likewise free and profoundly available because of a natural programming language called Solidity. Ethereum accompanies its own advanced cash, or its own Bitcoin, in a manner of speaking, called Ether. This is the cash you'd use on the Ethereum blockchain to pay for exchanges, running computations, or putting away information. While Bitcoin might be the lord of the cryptographic money world today, Ether, on account of its more versatile blockchain, could turn into the favored advanced installment technique for what's to come. Ethereum offers numerous potential applications. Yet there are still concerns. Since we've investigated Ethereum, we should put a portion of the particulars under the magnifying instrument. There are various thoughts and likely utilization of the Ethereum blockchain that make it very energizing. For instance, the Ethereum blockchain could make casting a ballot for all intents and purposes sealed. Each citizen could utilize their mark to make a section in the blockchain that would address their vote. In this framework, nobody could transform it since the confirmation of work interaction would deny it. Furthermore, the interaction of vote checking would be totally straightforward. Another opportunity for Ethereum is in the administration of land titles, particularly in non-industrial nations where the disarray over land possession has kept down the economy. The Ethereum blockchain would again make this interaction completely straightforward and clear. And afterward, there's banking. It shocks no one that the most significant financial partnerships have been subsidizing the exploration of blockchain innovation. The monetary market, alongside exchanging stocks and different resources, could profit incredibly from the straightforward and programmable nature of blockchains. Be that as it may, this is only a hint of something larger. Ethereum could likewise improve escrow installments, person-to-person communication, ride-sharing, work administrations, crowdfunding stages, and considerably more. In any case, Since Ethereum is open source programming and without guarantees, there is worry about how reliable it truly is. This is a significant issue for enormous organizations since they'll never consent to utilize something that isn't completely dependable and without bugs. In this regard, Ethereum's engineers presently can't seem to prepare genuine endeavors to make it for corporate use, at long last. There's the issue of the inconvenience of government guidelines later on. Blockchains can be utilized for crimes similar to illegal tax avoidance or bootleg market deals, which could bring about certain administrations forcing weighty guidelines or, in any event, prohibiting blockchain innovation. In any case, the reality stays that blockchains can possibly change our reality similarly as significantly as the web did. Furthermore, the way things are currently, Ethereum could be the blockchain of things to come, since it is by a long shot the most progressive we've seen to date. Final summary. The main message in this book: blockchains are not hype. They can possibly achieve significant change, and Ethereum is the most progressive blockchain to arise. This is on the grounds that it isn't exceptionally determined, yet rather a universally useful blockchain that can be utilized in a wide assortment of social and business circles. You like what you hear? Check out other personal development or business books. This video was made possible by your support. It takes a very long time to make one of our videos, so thanks to your contributions to Pattern and watching our videos, we are slowly able to do more and more of them. If you want to help us out, check out the Patreon page. If you like the contents of this video, check out other books in the description and suggest what book we should cover next.